In today's episode of the Buzby Dog Podcast, we're going to talk about fear-free mobility for dogs. And I'm curious if you've heard about the latest technology in veterinary medicine. It might surprise you to learn that it isn't computer-based nor cost-prohibitive. Technology, and I just learned this definition last year when I taught my kids science, is simply applying what we've learned scientifically to smooth and improve life. And that is certainly the essence of this novel movement called fear-free, the topic of today's podcast, to smooth and improve the veterinary experience for every pet. I can't give you hard numbers, but I know from owning my own veterinary practice that a subset of pet owners are reluctant to take their pets to the vet because they fear that the stress associated with the visit is actually worse than letting their pet exist in their health status quo. Though well-intentioned, this ostrich in the sand model puts the pet's health and sometimes their very life at risk. So if you've been the one whose cat's pupil dilate to the size of volcanic craters at the vet, or whose petrified dog cowers and pees all over the reception area waiting room, and you've been afraid to take your dog to the vet because it's just this experience that everybody dreads, help is on the way. Dr. Marty Becker and fear-free certified professionals are leading our industry toward kinder, gentler veterinary visits. About a year ago, I attended a panel discussion led by Dr. Becker to discuss this movement that he founded. What really piqued my interest was the future of this project. He mentioned that the next target for his board of veterinary behaviorists, practitioners, and industry experts is fear-free homes. And he explained that fear can also be an issue for pets at home. And he just mentioned in passing, no one's talking about this stuff. And I had to suppress the urge to raise my hand and exclaim, I object, Your Honor, because my intuitive, observant clients have been passionate seekers of fear-free homes and fear-free mobility for decades. And they have recognized that it's an issue, particularly for their senior dogs. The most common traumatic event in the life of an emotionally balanced dog that I hear about every single day is having to traverse hard floors when the dog has lost the ability to compensate and do so safely. So specifically, I'm referring to senior and special needs dogs who don't have the balance or muscle tone or flexibility they once did. So getting up from and walking across slippery floors isn't just a physical challenge, it's downright scary. And as these dogs lose their mobility because they can't or won't walk on slippery floors, they're also stripped of their confidence. I have literally received hundreds upon hundreds of stories about dogs whose quality of life was destroyed by this issue. They may even withdraw from interacting with their people, their pack, if you will, because slick floors inhibit freedom of movement. They tend to isolate themselves to a safe zone like a throw rug or a dog bed because it provides a sense of security. And their posture, their facial expressions, and their behavior reflect fear when asked to do the most basic fundamental task in dogdom, to walk. We definitely don't talk about these things in veterinary school. I remember remarking to a colleague about this loss of confidence in dogs when I started to recognize this pattern in my older patients. And he scoffed at me and he's like, confidence? I don't care about my patient's confidence. And this actually crushed me, and I think about it often because self-confidence is an integral part of quality of life for any sentient being. Dr. Lee Gregory is a veterinary acupuncturist and rehabilitation practitioner in New England, and I will never forget the discussions we had about her senior Shar-Pei mix named Winnie. And Winnie was about 13 years old at the time. She had had 2 neurologic episodes during the previous year that had left her with balance deficits. And on top of that, Winnie was losing her vision. So this combination caused her to become fearful and lose confidence. And if you think about older people who have balance issues, they certainly live with this pervasive fear of falling, which inherently leads to a more sedentary lifestyle out of self-preservation. The same was true for Winnie. Dr. Gregory explained it this way. She said, fear not only affects her mobility, but it translates to every part of her life. As veterinary professionals, we've all come to recognize how fear can literally ruin a dog's life. In young dogs, we have the ability to modify or modulate behavior through training or environment, or sometimes through medications. But what about our older dogs? What about dogs that are limited by physical disabilities or cognitive issues or sensory deficits? Can you teach an old dog new tricks? I met Dr. Gregory because she reached out to share Winnie's ToeGrips success story with me, and her conclusion that ToeGrips were a breakthrough in canine geriatric medicine. ToeGrips are non-slip nail grips designed to restore traction to senior and special needs dogs. For Winnie, they improved both her mobility and her overall emotional state. So Dr. Gregory later said she's still affected by her loss of vision, for sure, but I can say that she's a better dog with her restored balance. And I would say that if you want to teach an old dog new tricks, help it to engage in movement. Mobility is a dog's greatest asset. When dogs can no longer walk securely with confidence, they inherently walk less. And this is bad for their bodies, their minds, and their spirits. Fear-free mobility is one of the greatest gifts we can give our dogs, but as a whole, we need to be intentional about it. In reality, Dr. Becker's promise that we don't talk about this stuff rings true. To our shame, until recently, we haven't thought enough about fear and its impact on our patients in the veterinary field. We rarely talk about a dog's confidence as veterinarians, nor do we ask questions pertaining to the topic when taking a patient's history at a routine office visit. But the people who share their homes and their hearts with dogs who struggle on floors think about their dog's safety, stress level, and self-confidence on a daily basis. Of that, I'm sure. I'm excited about the future of the fear-free movement in veterinary medicine and beyond. Frankly, I'm excited about the innovative solutions that now exist for aging dogs. I'm frequently asked by clients, what do you recommend for this or that? And typically they've already done a boatload of research on the internet, and they're just looking for some trusted help in sifting through that information. So after answering the same questions over and over and over, it finally dawned on me that the right thing to do would probably just be to write a little guide to explain why I endorse particular products for my patients. And these are products that can help improve your own senior dog's mobility and quality of life. And one of these products certainly is ToeGrips. This is, by disclaimer, our company, Dr. Buzby's ToeGrips for Dogs, and it's a product that I am passionate about because I've seen results in my own patients' lives over the past 5 years. This is the product that helped Winnie the Senior Shar-Pei rediscover confident mobility. But the guide is full of several other products with whom I have zero connection, zero financial incentive. These are genuinely the products that I recommend for my patients and have seen fantastic results with over the years. So the guide is called 8 Life-Changing Senior Dog Necessities. And if you'd like to receive your free copy, simply text Happy Dog, that needs to be all one word, Happy Dog, to 44222. And if you're interested, let me say that again. So if you want to get the free guide, 8 Life-Changing Senior Dog Necessities, just text all one word, Happy Dog, to 44222. And if you're interested in learning more about the Fear-Free Initiative or finding a practice near you with staff members who've earned this distinction of being certified fear-free professionals, visit fearfreepets.com. That's fearfreepets.com.